And hey, you're really pleased to see Waffling made it to the win, as am I, Safid. I'm super happy that we finally managed to, I guess not only managed to finally get the Halfling win under our belt, but with perfect timing with the release of 0.27 this weekend, and also with WAF specifically, because had a lot of hopes and dreams riding on that little halfling's shoulders, and had some amazing luck as well. So I would have hated to throw that one away. But as for today, we could try bashing our face into Vampire Hunter once more. But our other option that we were debating at the start of our stream today was to play an Octopode and see if we can't make some progress there. They are one of my favorite species, and they're a decent ways off in our Sunday Win with Every Species series. So it's a good opportunity to supersede the order a little bit and maybe try it out. So let's hop in with an Octopode for today, shall we? Because I know that it has been asked for in the past and has been away and off, so I'd love to give an opportunity to try out a suggestion that we received, I think months ago, but still happy to finally get around to it, you know? So I'm leaning towards Conjurer here because now we're not quite as locked in by the confines of the tournament options there with Nemluck's Choice, so we can optimize a little bit more. And I'm definitely a pretty big fan of the Conjurer attempts here with Octopode. So let's get it started, heading off into the dungeon. We will have to be really careful in any kind of melee situation in the early game here, but I do have confidence in our ability, once we get to a certain stage, to keep it going here. Unfortunately, Safid, I did already jump in with the Conjurer, but I do love the Octo Hunter Billy the Squid. It's the one thing that I'm gonna miss playing these tournament games, is not being able to name our characters, because that is often the more fun aspect of the game. Okie dokie, I've already immediately forgotten that we're playing as a caster and just started tabbing right into the enemies. Great start, great start. But we can do a little bit of the most classic pillar dancing here, where it gets its name from even. We can just loop around a few times, trying to stay alive here. Try our very best to keep our very first on-camera Octopode alive, shall we? After I very stupidly just smashed face first into the very first kobold with a short sword. Not too bad. That clip turned out pretty well. I'll have to check it out later, Ned. In fact, I think I have links turned off here, but if you tried to post it in chat there, it didn't show up. Let me, real quick here, try something out. I believe it's something like that. It's been too long. Oh, geez. I had no idea how to work a lot of these moderating features. I'm definitely just figuring them out for my first time here. So I apologize for the awkwardness of it all. One day I'll figure out how to use that silly permit command. And it, yeah, definitely will be linked to the channel here, so we'll check it out in a sec here. Maybe once we survive this first kobold encounter, I'll even just pull it up here. Oh, I was not paying attention, as you can see. Wasn't carrying a single thing though, so that's nice. And there we go. Gives us the time that we were just talking about. So I can quickly pop on here. We will take a quick look at this clip. Oops, let's not play the front page video on Twitch for everyone. Perfect. Okay, let's go over to this here. There are other options again, but I'm feeling lucky. there's no way that we die here. Okay, it was a potion of attraction, so we died here. Is the thing. But thank you so much for the clip. Right. That's great. Love to see the comedic timing just immediately bite me in the ass. Oh, good stuff. You love it when you call it out, you know? Call your own shots, as it were. But it does give us an opportunity to actually listen to a fan suggestion this time instead of just picking whatever I go for. So in fact, you know what, that octopus never meant to survive. Instead, I'll take Saphid's suggestion here with the Squid Earth Elementalist, Rocktopus, which I do love to hear. So let's try it out, shall we? Oh, that's foreboding. Enter a room with 6 dwarf skeletons and 12 gnolls. Fun stuff. Jeez Louise. But we will change around here, focus our skills, get that earth magic trained up right away. And what else? Darts we will pick up. Throwing nets are just auto pickup now. You'd love to see that. Game has learned that that's just something that every background wants. And okay, for real now. This is the real Earth Elementalist, you know? Or the real Octopode attempt. Largely due to the fact that maybe this time around we will remember that we're a spellcaster and use our spells, as it were. It's usually a good idea in my experience, at the very least. Managed to find ourselves our first weapon here as well, which is always good. It's kind of brutal sometimes where you have, or when you have to fight an enemy for your first weapon as an octopode, or as a spellcaster in general, I guess. And as long as we don't start running low on stones, I can be a little bit rash with my spending of them. You wouldn't trust that fizzy potion? What's wrong with a potion that's just dead center in the middle of a room just full of dead bodies? It's not like it's Kool-Aid or anything like that. I'm sure it'll be fine. There we go. Level 2 on this character. We're already doing better. Yay! It's also interesting to note where the spellbook has changed, because that's one thing that I haven't had the chance to explore too much yet, are the starting spellbook changes in this version of the game. It's definitely something that could come in to be really very relevant on one of these characters. Lost LRD, yeah, that's exactly it with this one. It's nice having a knowledgeable person in chat, or actually many knowledgeable people, because honestly, the vast majority of you know a lot more about the game than I do. Helps out a great deal for sure, in my end. But that is kind of unfortunate. LRD was one of my staple, like, Hydra killers as an Earth Elementalist. One of the best early game, or early mid-game, I guess. It's always hard to decide where exactly you want to put the benchmarks on all those, I guess, as it were. In a game like this, especially since it can go anywhere from 3 runes to 15, so there is a lot of variability in how long a run actually is. Okay, we're starting to run out of stones, so I'm going to try to get through some of the simpler fights with just our sphere now. Polkas aren't exactly a simpler fight. For you, early game is until D15, mid game is until V4, and late game is the rest. So would early game be inclusive of lair, or do you usually go all the way down to D15 before you start exploring that direction? So I know that that's kind of a point of contention that we've brought up on stream with chat before, and it's fun to hear the different pathways that everyone takes, even though there is kind of the most ideal one, maybe, but there are a lot of flavor ones that people just like going to certain areas first, or feel more comfortable fighting certain monsters over others. And yes, that is inclusive of lair and orc. Okay, here, that makes sense. And then before S branches would be my guess. And there we go, our first spellbook. Not very many spells in each of these now that with the reductions, but Still could find something handy right off the bat. Stone arrow. I probably will learn right away here and maybe get some conjurations being trained. In fact, I'm gonna turn around the corner so that we don't get snuck up by anything, and we'll memorize stone arrow here. Just to maybe get a few levels of conjurations right off the bat. And yeah, so what does it go to or spell? You like stone arrow, but the changes incentivize hybridizing since books are more common. That's very cool. I do actually very much enjoy that because I definitely find myself, yeah, just completely pigeonholed in our starting build so often. So it's kind of fun to have more possibilities show up. And that kind of plays into even what I was mentioning earlier that I like so much about the genie, where if you're being forced into these situations, you might find a spell that you never used before is actually super handy and very like cool and interesting. And another Faded Altar. Do I risk it once more? Basically anyone except for Trog, I'll be happy with. Even if it is Trog, we can make it work. Have some wasted skills or some wasted experience right off the bat, but we could do it, right? I'm addicted to Faded Altars. Again, anything that involves rolling the dice, any kind of lottery system, I can't help it, I just gotta. So everyone cross your fingers with me, and let's hope, just not Trog? Just not Trog. Zom. Okay. Well, it's gonna be an interesting game to say the very least. Have to see how I feel about that as we get a little further along here. Zom is at least not inherently bad. Definitely cannot say that about pure randomness. And in fact, I was just literally saying how much I love rolling the dice, so kind of brought it on myself, didn't I? The game is just listening to me and trying to give me what I want is the thing. But I'll take it. That's fine, Zom is the best god. You're not wrong, in many ways. Zom is the best. And I believe that we'll have an entertaining run. Entertaining enough even for Zom themselves. Oops, I accidentally set our polearm training on, didn't mean to do that. I actually wanted to go in here and change up some of our letters because we just picked up a Staff of Earth, which is pretty awesome. Not often that you find yourself getting exactly the type of weapon that your build requires, so I'll happily pick that up right now here. You've waited too long for to play a stabber. Stabbers are tricky. We had just had our own experiences at the very start of today's session with that, and it was definitely a bit rough to say the very least. And I do love Zomtopus, or Zomtopode as it were. I did very recently learn about the proper pluralization of octopus, which I found absolutely fascinating. Because of course the common joke answer that everyone goes for is octopi, but that's not actually right because that's how you pluralize, I believe Latin words get the I ending pluralization, and octopus is not a Latin word. Not that English follows any rules, like we definitely just do whatever we feel like for the most part with the English language. It's a complete mess, but that would be how you'd pluralize it technically if it was a Latin word. If it was a Greek word, it would be octopodes, which is why I thought of this whole thing. Very close to the name octopode, but it should just be octopuses, I believe, is the actual technical correct pluralization of the word, which is boring, I know, but it is what it is. And we also did finally manage to pick up some more stones, so I can actually switch back to my Staff of Earth here for a moment. And we'll maybe actually just use our usual stuff. And you'll play a Kobold of Wujian at a date yet to be determined. That sounds really fun, actually. I like the new Kobolds in general, even though I haven't had too much time to play around with them yet. And yeah, the Wujian step into the enemy mechanic, interact with stabbing well. Yeah, I believe so, because even like Palantongas get some essence of that advantage. You can get stabs off while rolling, which is awesome. And I've definitely seen for myself that like Rampage, you get that extra stab in, so definitely makes sense that that would be a good advantageous use of the lunge step, that is. Perfect. And I agree, Ned. Yeah, very cool. I like a lot of the kind of non-intuitive uses for different abilities in the game. I think there are lots of kind of fun, silly things that you can do. Almost immediately went to go pick up those gloves, but that's not useful for us here. Okay. I was getting cocky, thinking I could get a few or one kill off there without too much trouble, but we can use up our stones. Actually, we're up to 77 stones. What am I doing? Let's just use our spells now, shall we? Speaking of which, you struggle with Octopode or any significantly minus HP character for some reason. Well, especially Octopodes are really tough because if you don't find a shield, you're so screwed defensively. I guess with the flip side of that being, if you can grab like 3 different AC plus or protection rings, you're going to be in a pretty awesome place. So I guess that's the ideal situation. It's just evasion and AC rings up the wazoo, but definitely a hard species to get off the ground in the middle section of the game. And you like Wujian and Stabbers a lot separately and didn't assume they would work well together. Now you have a new fun thing to try out in your future games. That's the best part of getting these kind of community forum areas of the game where we can hear all the different opinions that people have and learn a lot of those cool kind of subtle mechanics that are in the game, or can be at least. The less bulky, the more you want to start as a spellcaster. Definitely makes sense to me. That fits with what I was describing as the vampire effect earlier. You come back and we decided to worship Zom. I mean, Fated Altars do what Fated Altars are gonna do, you know? Sometimes you just gotta let life take the wheel. There's not a lot you can do about it. Sigmund with a Scythe of Distortion. That seems fun. Let us just immediately take the first upstairs we see, switch over, go downstairs, and find the first downstairs I see, and I am out of here, thank you kindly. We're at least done most of that level, so not too much of a loss. Sigmund alone is pretty rough. And on top of that, having to deal with a distortion weapon this early in the game is not something I'm interested in. I guess on top of that, Sigmund is attacking a lot quicker now due to the melee changes. So let's not be silly, shall we? Oh, I queued up a couple actions there by accident. Didn't account for the slight server lag, but not punished at all, so that's good. We also have been picking up a few different spells, so maybe it's time that we took a quick peek at our options. And, ooh, OTR. I do love me some OTR. Distortion Azom loves it when you vacation in the Abyss. That is true. We would definitely entertain our favorite god here, but maybe not today, right? The Sigmund Shuffle indeed, yeah. Let's see. I think it's gotta be OTR as a potential goal of mine. Octopodes, I believe, have pretty decent venom. Yeah, poison magic is their +2. Perfect. The old memory does do some things right every once in a while. So that is awesome. And in fact, unless there's something that I want right away here, I think I'm just gonna get this onto my spell list. And we will set some caps. Earth magic can maybe stop at 5 just for the time being. How's Stone Arrow looking, I guess? 12% miscast. So yeah, that can stop at 5. We'll bring Conjurations up for a little bit longer. There we go. Just waiting for the lag a little bit there. Conjurations, let's allow that to come all the way up to 4. And then Poison Magic is going to be focused here as well. And we're going to set that up pretty high because I do think we're going to be cranking this bad boy for the next wee bit here. Just trying to get OTR nice and castable, nice and strong. And we're crossing our fingers and really hoping that we find Ignite Poison as well. Because if we can get that combo off the ground, there's absolutely nothing we can't do. Hello, friends. Ice Imp. Definitely a little bit scary, but shouldn't be too bad. I'd at least like to face them on their own, though. Perfect. As long as we get that hit off, they don't seem like that big of a deal whatsoever, but it's definitely quite a bit trickier if we miss a few times. And let's see, a Wand of Ice Blast. That's gonna hurt really bad. Fortunately, the one downside, or the biggest downside at the very least, to Earth Elementalists is our lack of range early on here. Don't know if there's anything else on us either that will be a significant change in how we're able to close the distance, so maybe I'll slowly back away. Oh, I was hoping Ijib was walking upwards and I was going to try and retrieve that wand sitting on the ground actually. Hoping to maybe eke out a bit of an advantage, but guess not today. That's fine. Let's head to the stairs and instead maybe step back for a second. Let's read some scrolls, shall we? Maybe find some advantages that we can eke out in another section of the game. And we do get Scrolls of Identify right away. So I can use that on some of my higher stack potions just to potentially get both the healing. Oh, one is Degeneration. That's what it's called. Mouth really tripping up over that word for whatever reason. But that's good because I definitely would have tried quaffing from that stack at some stage in the game and would have very much regretted doing so. So those can drop for the time being, and let's do one more lucky read. And this time we gotta pick, or I'm going to pick, we don't gotta by any means, but I'm going to pick one of the random single scroll piles. Hoping for Blinking, maybe even Acquirement? Maybe, just maybe. Wouldn't that be cool, Zom? Lend me some luck here, but let's see which one we like. We have Lalith, Mi Querg, not a bad name, Osonu Atiegd, Usorog Bikezio. Bikezio sounds like a cool name. Vokestra Ziedua, Utiufa Nupusu, just Sipu Equio, or no, we won't identify that one, so no need. What gets my vote in the end? You're a fan of Usorog Bikezio yourself? I did make a special comment of it, so maybe that was my subconscious trying to hint me in that this is a good scroll. This is important. So let's do it. Teleportation. Hey, it might save our life actually. It's not an especially special find at this stage in the game, but it might save our life. And here we go. White Sky Beast. The Sky Beast is going to be a pain in the butt. Don't exactly have solutions for that at this point. So I might, just for now, exclude. Let auto explore hopefully take us somewhere else on the level. Hey, we are now a favorite toy of Zom. That's sweet. Don't know what we did to deserve it, but I'll take it. Okie dokie. Fun. First null pack of the game here. Can try and drag them back. It at least only has one polearm user, so you love to see that. Otherwise, this would be potentially suicidal to even think about taking this fight, but as is, I think I'm happy to try at least for a little bit, and this is where we start to have to do a little bit more risk assessment at the very least. Giving ourselves some more intelligence on the level up, and yeah, 11 damage plus its spear could hit pretty hard. We don't have defenses whatsoever to speak of. And, what else do we have for us? No new spells that we could, oops, I'm still in X mode there. There we go. Yeah, Olgrebs is real close to being castable, even with just that little bit of experience that we got so far in this fight. It went down from 80-something% to 67, so that's pretty incredible. Stone Arrow is 11% chance to fail, but has drastic failure results. Probably not great. I'm gonna start by walking away a bit. Okay. Thanks, Zom. Let's see how that does. Can even use that to gain some extra distance here. And, okay, we're not quite in range, but hey, that's actually a much better start to the fight. Heck yeah. Thanks, Zom. Always got my back. What a good god. And do people generally prefer to identify scrolls or potions first? Do you tend to do scrolls to find TP or blink? Not sure if correct. Yeah, I definitely, for myself, I usually get a couple of potions first, because I do like to get my healing potions out of the way. But other than that, I immediately usually do switch over to the scrolls, because yeah, I'm in the same boat where specifically that the blinking scrolls are completely priceless in their ability to get you out of a tricky situation. So I think I don't go too far off from what you do there, Spin Dart. And yeah, Ninth Settler also saying you do potions first for heal wounds, tree, and curing, and once you have those, you go for the scrolls. I guess the lignification makes sense too, because it's only really going to be useful potentially at the start of the dungeon. So that is kind of interesting. But okay, Zom has decided to mutate the crap out of us. We got very sharp teeth, not too bad, but probably not great either, for being honest. But we got some extra AC from iridescent scales, which is huge for an octopode. It's almost like we're playing as a normal character now instead of one of the squishy buddies. Along with freezing anyone who hurts us might keep us alive with some of the reptiles, so hey, I'll take that. Why not? This 3 strength is pretty rough, don't get me wrong, but as long as we're not going through hells, maybe, just maybe, it won't come back to bite us in the butt too much. And yeah, you just blind read a bunch of stuff, maybe you're the idiot. Definitely not. A lot of people do that, Zaphid. Especially again with the fact that acquirement scrolls can show up earlier now than they used to. I find that you might just find an amazing acquirement scroll, get a quick blade on D2 or something silly like that, and that's a good way to stay alive, for sure. And I guess TPD, you said that you do potions first, as blind reading scrolls is generally less risky than blind quaffing potions, I mean looking for cure and heal wounds. That's a great point as well. Just try not to blind quaff a mutation potion too early on in the game. Okay, how's our casting looking? Stone Arrow, honestly a little more realistic, and I think I'm happy to throw that out there. Yeah, that Ice Blast does hurt real bad though. As long as Ejib doesn't do it 3 turns in a row, perfect. They did not do it 3 turns in a row. Love to see it. And I will definitely pick up a Dagger of Electrocution early on. That could come in handy. Yeah, sometimes you have to just blind read the stuff right away. No, definitely, yeah, it does come into play. And yeah, blind reading at D4 so that you can get the magic mapping for the temple does seem like a pretty solid play as well. I mean, even just knowing that you have magic mapping right as soon as possible does potentially give you better odds of finding any of the special time vaults and stuff like that too, so I totally understand the logic there for sure. I think at the end of the day for me it just comes down to complete preference of what people enjoy doing in their own games. I know in general I am a stingy son of a gun, so I do like to save up everything as much as I can. But, okay, another little identify to go. I guess I haven't found heal wounds yet, right? I think I just have my curing, and degeneration was the other one that we identified. So, I think this is where I'll take my own advice that I was mentioning a bit ago and go for the brown potions. Hey, heal wounds, not too bad. And so yeah, for me at the very least, this is where I will probably start. Identifying just scrolls for the next little bit here. And let's see, Ice Beast is showing up as extremely dangerous. Which definitely hits pretty hard, so maybe that makes sense. In my mind, I thought Blork was going to be much more dangerous, but apparently the game doesn't register it as such. Let's pop up here. Maybe just retreat from both those for now. We did leave them sleeping, so that is a nice little advantage where I can again just exclude them for the time being. Maybe explore around, get a little bit more health. Ooh, we even get an iguana friend on our side? That's fascinating. Thanks again, Zom. I mean, Zom is just killing it for us right now. I don't know what we did to deserve such amazing fortune. But I'll take it, don't get me wrong. Might mean my iguana friend can go through the rest of this level together. Maybe even use our iguana friend to fight the ice beast and Blork? Oh, dang it. No longer charmed. Never mind. Scratch that. And it's a good thing I didn't try my plan either, because that could have gone downhill really fast with the iguana turning on us at the most inopportune moment. Oh, and we got teleported, and got teleported again. And that's it. Okay, thank you, Zom. Very cool. Did land us right by a stairway in the end, so it's not like I can be mad about that. So I should say there was one other thing there that popped up. I think it was just Zom yelling at us, though. Here we go. OTR is slowly but surely getting up there. We're now no longer focusing Earth magic at all for actually a decent while now, I guess. So should be coming up fairly soon. Did forget Stone Arrow is still at 9%. That's not too bad. I think I'm willing to take this fight. Not quite as scary as his older brother is. Perfect. +2 Flail of Holy Wrath. No, probably won't worry too much about carrying that around. Oh, dang it. We lost our favorite plaything status with Zom here, which is a shame too bad. We're doing well there for a moment. Hornet Zombie, a wee bit scary, but not quite as bad as their living counterpart. And 2 levels of poison magic already out of the way. That should bring us up to, or down, I guess, rather, to 17% failure. Almost there on the OTR. Very excited for that. In fact, have I gained too many more spellbooks? In fact, no more spellbooks, but we'll keep an eye out for that in the future here. Because again, we are just hoping for some Ignite Poison action. That's when we truly start to take off. Where it stops, nobody knows. Just one this time from our Zom friend here. Ooh, and some more Ice Blast charges. Don't mind if I do. Check the range on that Stone Arrow. Yeah, I'll definitely try and take out the Scorpion quickly here, though, before any poison shenanigans can start to come into play. Oh, Ignite Poison. Irradiate, Blade Hands, and Dragon Form. I mean, it's not bad. We'll almost definitely be going Transmutation at some stage in this. I guess earlier I mentioned that one of my key components for surviving whatsoever with an octopode is to get statue form. That's a shield and statue form are the 2 pieces of the puzzle that I almost require in order to get through in one piece. Though it's definitely possible otherwise still. And our first ogre of the game. Could try for an OTR. Oh gosh, are we just leaving negative energy everywhere we walk? That's cool. Come to me. Dang it. Whoa, where did you go? Where'd you go? There we go. Block off the path. Love to see it. This time I don't want to lose sight, because I was hoping to use our miasma clouds here. Or thunder clouds? Is that what these are? No, they are the negative miasma, but we can use them to keep our distance from the ogre here, which is absolutely perfect timing. Love to see it. Thanks again, Zom. Again, just getting far too lucky with her randomness here. And a Staff of Fire. Okay, that could come in handy for sure. Let's just double check. What did I mark off? It was an Ice Beast and Blork. I could probably take an Ice Beast at this stage. In fact, I think I will, so let's just use some quick walking to make my job a little bit easier. Ideally, I would like to just engage on one of you, so actually I might say to go up here. Oh, we woke up the Ice Beast at some point. They're just exploring on their own. That's fun. So I guess with that, we can just take off our exclusions. Hopefully that's the same one. Oh, and it was, but Blork. Blork, where are you? Please, my poor Blork is lost in the dungeon. Oh, jeez. Hello. The shaman has to go. That much is not debatable, even though, What I'd like to do is pop around a corner that makes it a little bit harder for the halberd knoll to hit us. Okay, that works for me. Octopode of Zom feels like a brave choice. Well, I'd love to take credit for it being a brave choice, but I will say that it is all thanks to, the fault of, I guess we'll see how it goes, a Fated Altar choice. And though I wouldn't mind trying out Zom for fun every once in a while, no, I would definitely not have great confidence going into that run, to say the very least. But okie dokie. I think Wand of Charming has a 54% chance. I like those odds. Perfect. Can let that buddy take care of the last null of the pack, and then... talk to you. Make you retreat this way, please and thank you. And when do you turn back to being aggro? Maybe you desummoned, even? Okay, we won't worry too much about it. But, again, I'm looking for Blork. Blork? Have you seen this orc? Excuse me, sir? Oh, a gift. I gained a scroll of Utiufa Nupusu. I'm gonna trust you on this one, Zom. Oh, okay. Scroll of Noise. Not horrible, honestly. I'm down. I was hoping, maybe, just maybe, we'd keep up our lucky progress so far and somehow get double Scrolls of Acquirement out of him, but it is what it is. And, oh my gosh, there, finally. Finally found Blork. Get over here. Immediately fail our spell casting. Love to see it. But still no problems whatsoever. Take that buddy out in a couple of hits. Zom does in fact love the odds. I don't know, maybe I should go for Zom more often on purpose in my gameplay, because it does, they are completely compatible with my own lifestyle decisions. Do you love rolling the dice, as mentioned multiple times already on today's stream. And, hey, bees can be scary for sure, but do have one pretty solid weapon against them. And I'm hoping with some decent OTR. Oh wait, we're brilliant right now too? Holy crap, thanks Song. But with OTR, we should be able to take out a pack of bees before they manage to close the distance whatsoever. Gotta love it when your enemies are susceptible to your main source of damage, don't you? In fact, with that Brilliance Potion, we were able to sneak in one extra cast and everything. Love to see it. Thanks, Zom, once again. Turns out when I talk good about Zom, they do amazing things for us. Maybe we should keep that up. But I'm going to start training a little bit of fighting now just to get our health going up a bit, and I'm going to turn Poison Magic back on, actually. Try and get OTR just fully castable. 4% isn't bad by any stretch, but always happy to get down to that 1% chance. Slightly better odds. Also gonna try not hanging out too long in fire range of the centaur, but as long as I'm not in danger of death, I'd love to keep stacking poison on with OTR. And are we in danger of death now? Is this where everything changes? 7 damage plus the short bow won't kill us in one hit. Yeah, so I might actually stay here, finish off the fight a little bit more. Perfect. Level up at the perfect moment. And then we'll just take this orc on a merry little jaunt, gain some mana, not too bad. First couple of centaurs dealt with. Oops. Didn't realize we were stopped just to be told of our new status with our main person here, our main deity.